I had always wanted to buy an iPhone. It's very crazy. I had always wanted to buy an iPhone. Not that I don't have the money to buy it, not that I could not afford it, not that there was no zeal or will to buy, but the truth is that that's the harsh reality of being a founder. You would have moments of not having a dime in your pocket. But if you believe in it, if you trust in the vision, in my few years in the startup ecosystem building in the last, I think, 7 years now, I've come a long way actually, and I've learned a few things that I can share with you. And it's so hard and so interesting as well. There are times that I just wish everything can just happen instantly, and there are times that tomorrow I wish tomorrow would not come because I know what will happen if it actually comes. And one of the most glaring things that running a startup has really done to me is being very, very frugal. You can't just spend money anyhow, and that has really rewired my brain in some way, somehow. And although I think naturally I'm a good planner, I kind of document things. I don't spend, I plan before I spend. I try to look at what I want to spend on. I try to look at my expenses. I try to, have a little control of my spendings, even not all. But I can tell you that it has really shaped me and as well limit me in exploring certain things. For example, I think I had always wanted to buy an iPhone. It's very crazy. I had always wanted to buy an iPhone. Not that I don't have the money to buy it, not that I could not afford it, not that there was no zeal or will to buy, but the truth is that it was not just the right time to buy an iPhone. And there are many things that I was trying to, attend to. My startup, about 90% of my income, right? Because I do 9 to 5 as well, which helped me a bit, or is helping me a bit to be sustainable, at least to an extent, because we've not raised, back then we've not raised any money. I had been the one fueling, the company, and we've not even gone to market. So it's a kind of product that we have to build. Is a physical, hardware product. So there's a lot of investment that has to be made first before you start to recoup your, ROI on your spendings. So naturally, you are the first investor of that kind of startup. So I was always giving my all, and so with that kind of responsibility, I have little attention to myself. I have little budget, to myself, because the most of the money was just going into my startup. It also affected my relationship. I don't think I've had any sustaining relationship like that. Because you would have to think through if you want to be in a relationship, right? And it has really affected me in that dimension, in that aspect, because you start to think it's a responsibility on its own. Let's be honest to ourselves. If you want to be in a relationship, you need to have some level of capacity, financial capacity, right? you can be faking it, you can be telling yourself lies that must you need money to be in a relationship. But the honest truth, as far as you are a man, you need some sort of capital to, make some commitment. So that was off for me. So I could not afford the luxury to be in a relationship. And a couple of things I would have loved to buy for myself because I have the money, but the money is available. It was going into something else, right? And wherever the money was going to, which is a startup, was not coughing out, right? Because it's not in the market yet. And after every, I think the biggest lesson is patience. And 7 years of waiting is not a joke. It's against the natural, reality of a startup environment. The truth is that if you run something for about 2-3 years and it's not coughing out some sort of returns, people will tend to tell you, professionals, right, or experts will tell you it's just good to pack off, right? That's the normal expectation for a startup. But there are some kind of startup that you are building that requires 100% for certain number of years before you can start seeing ROI. And that's because the nature of investment that you have to make initially. That was the kind of environment I was building my startup. So a lot of commitment, a lot of responsibility. It was like my first baby. Most startup founders, that your first baby, your first wife, your first everything is your startup, right? And so, well, I think it's been a journey of learning curve, patience. It's been a journey of patience. It's been a journey of knowing what you want actually, and also, do you need to buy certain things? Is it necessary? So understanding your wants, your needs, and it has really helped me to be able to stay grounded in those areas. And talking of iPhone, I now have to I now use an iPhone, right? And I can't go back, right? I can't go back from using an iPhone. I've had a taste of the sweet, juicy, interesting love of using an iPhone, right? Comfort and luxury that comes with it. And to be honest, I didn't use it for many years, and that's because of whatever it is I was making my investment on. But when I had that kind of space to be able to, buy myself that kind of stuff, I think I deserve it, right? And I think that was last year. I started using iPhone last year after many years of waiting to try one. And yeah, I think it's been and that's a lesson. That's the harsh reality of being a founder. You would have moments of not having a dime in your pocket. But if you believe in it, if you trust in the vision, see, the truth is that there's no path for success. There's no assurance for success. You can spend many years building something and it might not, become something of value. And you might spend just a little year on something that it becomes something that is worth $1 million. So the only truth is that, do you find joy? Do you derive happiness do you find yourself complete in doing that thing? And I think that has been the thing that has kept me going. I love solving problems. I can't be in a space that would choke me not to solve problems. No. So when I look back over the years, I see series of journeys of problem solving, and it makes me happy, it makes me fulfilled, and it makes me to keep going. So if you love it, please go for it, and don't deny yourself of happiness. So whatever you need to make yourself happy, please, you need to do it. Yeah, so see you again in my next episode. Peace out.